What's up, everyone? It's Kevin Wu here, and I am the man of the hour. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about confidence because it is Men's Health Month, and also my brand new US debut single called Got It.
Kevin Wu, I have you for about the next 30 minutes. You're man of the half hour. We started a new thing. We got the Men of the Hour podcast. We consider you a man of the hour. But essentially, we love the bigger picture idea that we could have you for 30 minutes and you're still an honorary member of this program and this podcast. So thank you for saying yes.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
You have an interesting background, and we were just talking about this. I've went to Seoul before, Seoul, Korea, and I mean,
Wow.
many people I know who've been to Seoul, Korea, and such. But you were born in the Bay Area, and you kind of did the opposite of what I did. I was born in Japan, and then was going between the U.S. and Japan. You were born
Oh,
in the
konnichiwa.
States. Hi, konnichiwa. And you,
Hajimemashite.
we could turn this whole thing into a Japanese podcast. You
Oh,
ready
that'd be
for
so
this?
cool.
But then I'd have to type out all the subtitles. Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
To show off that we're like bilingual, trilingual.
That's what it is. Oh, you're trilingual, which is even more impressive. Kevin, so you started your life pretty much in the Bay Area, but then you had moved to Korea to pursue a journey in K-pop with some
Mm-hmm.
bands. So give us a history on what that experience was like for you, because now you're a solo artist, which we'll get to in just a moment.
Yeah.
But what was the
I'm
journey like
excited to
going on?
share everything about my life. It's been quite an interesting journey. I was
100%.
born and raised in the Bay Area, grew up in a little town called Danville. And I've always dreamed of becoming a singer. And I grew up around Korean culture, of course, growing up in a Korean household, listened to a lot of Korean music. And then once I saw a lot of these boy bands on TV and these also like solo artists, I was like, Mom, I have to go to Korea this summer. I want to audition. I want to be in a K-pop boy band. And she was like, go for it. So at the age of 15, I decided to go to Korea just on vacation right out of my freshman year of high school.
Mm,
And literally, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, I had big dreams, big goals. And I was just like in a new city, new country. And I just went for an audition and they
and you
signed
got
me
it.
on the spot.
Wait, let me
Yeah.
pause you there. That's how it happens. I used to think that boy bands, for instance, SMAP, Exile in Japan, K-pop,
Oh,
you got
you know that.
BTS,
Oh my God.
Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys. We know all of them now. I used to think that the boys were already together and that they were discovered on like shows. You auditioned for one?
Yeah, so in K-pop, how it works, they form these groups by, auditioning these members, like either they're a boy group or a girl group, but they recruit these trainees, and then
Mm,
they come from all over the world. It's very global now, actually, and I was one of the pioneers to come from America. There weren't that
yeah, I was
many
going to
Korean
say they're probably
Americans.
Korea based.
Yeah. Mostly Korean based. But I was one of the pioneers. And then, yeah, after that, a lot of groups followed and more international members started to pop up here and there. But it's been amazing to see that kind of evolve.
When you had to learn, you were always around Korean culture, but I assume you'd always been bilingual, trilingual. Is it the same having to learn at a young age the Korean language than to sing it?
So that was a difficult part.
I was
I
gonna
knew how
say,
to speak Korean because I spoke Korean with my parents, but it was just very basic communication,
yeah, that's the
like just like,
story of like the Asian American life, I think. Like you
yeah,
kind
like
of
mom,
know
I'm
broken
hungry.
everything. Yeah.
Mom, I'm sleepy. I don't want to do that. But like when you're trying to like express your emotions in the Korean language and even Japanese, which I learned like 4 or 5 years down the line after I went to Korea,
Mm,
it was so difficult. Even just communicating with like my members and the staff members and the
yeah.
boss, like there was a lot of interesting moments where there was like, you know, mistranslations here and there. But it's all good. It's all part of learning.
Yeah, the more you know. That's like the best slogan I could have ever put on this podcast or could have ever
Yeah, the more
repeated on
you
this
know.
podcast.
Yeah.
Kevin, what about this bigger picture idea that K-pop's a huge phenomenon? I mean, everybody knows that it is something that is a huge part of the music industry. I was going to say taking over, but like there's so many things taking over, like the
Yeah.
music industry, K-pop being one of them.
Hmm.
What do you think it is about your guys' fan base that is making people like tune in, latch on, fall in love with you, and become obsessed with
Yeah.
K-pop?
I mean, as we're talking about this, I'm just like getting the shivers because it's just like such a cool experience to see it grow from the inside
Yeah,
out. When I first started out, yeah, we had fan bases in America and globally, but not to this extent. It was only after like Gangnam Style and until like
that's
BTS
right.
really, blew up in America with like the Billboard Awards and going to the Grammys. I mean, it's just crazy how far it's come.
Yeah.
But to see that, I think the fan engagement is like the biggest aspect to K-pop. I feel like K-pop artists really, really want to connect and interact with the fans because at the
Mm,
end of the day, the reason why we're doing what we love to do and why we're on
is
stage
everybody?
and touring is because of the fans.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we have such close and intimate relationship, they want to support us more and they want to see us succeed and grow and break records. And I think that community is just really tight knit and strong.
Because you guys don't just sing. You're not, there's people that are solo artists that can just sing and play a piano and a guitar. Like you go on The Voice. I'm not, listen, I would never downplay what those people can do. I can't fucking sing, so it doesn't matter. You guys can sing, you dance. There's routines. Like you remember the Backstreet Boys flying down on those strings. We just had AJ McLean on, and we were talking about that.
Oh,
And then I thought about it. I was like, well, you look at like Smap Smap or BTS or the groups that you were in, and I start thinking like, there's so much more to it from like a entertainment perspective because
yeah.
you tune in and you're actually watching a show rather than just watching someone sing.
Exactly. It's
You
it's
know?
all about the performance, the synchronicity of the dance performances, even the music videos. I would
Yeah.
say are like just top notch in the industry. How much money that they put into it, how much thought and creativity, and just the colors, the fashion, the
You're making me
makeup, just
want to go
it's
join
the
a.
whole package.
If you were to join a boy band again, you need
Mhm.
to call me and I'll join. I'd be just straight backup dancer. That's
why
it.
don't why don't we make them right now?
Could you imagine? Let's go call about three or four more guys. This would be like JK pop. Like
JK pop. Okay, okay,
we got to
yeah.
go find some other Japanese and Korean guys. JK pop. That'd be really funny. And
That's
then just
that's
kidding,
so
get it? Like
cool.
it kind of there would be a ring to it. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Are you down for the training like process though? It
Yeah,
is
I can do
very intense.
backflips. I can do backflips. I
Oh
consider
wow.
myself creative. I can't sing for shit, so we'll work on it.
Do you mind getting your phone taken away and living in a dorm and having a curfew?
Wait, you got see? That's trained. That's like a boot camp. You guys have to do
That
that.
yeah, it is a
Oh
boot
wow, that's
camp.
intense. No wonder
Yeah.
you're a solo artist now. I want to talk about that. How's that
Yeah,
been?
I
You
mean,
you're on
my
your
boy
independent road
band,
now.
that journey, I mean, it was a great run. Of course, I'm really close with the members still, and
Mm,
the fans who have brought me here to like this point in my life. Of course, we're like super close, and I'm super grateful for that opportunity. But I feel like, after 12 plus years, I really wanted to venture out to become a solo artist and explore things about myself that I never had the
mm,
chance to while I was in a group. It's a different journey for
yeah,
sure.
an
Um,
exciting one at that.
it is, and to be back in America and just connecting with my roots again, I think that's a whole another chapter for me.
And you're
Everything
still so
seems.
young. And I
Thank you,
always
thank you.
I'll say this as a hapa, like Asian don't raisin. You got the rest of your life to look like you're still
Oh,
young. So like
Asian
what
don't
is it?
raisin.
Right?
Yeah,
Y'all know that's right. If you're tuning in, like anyway, you have so much life ahead of you and the solo artist career,
I
and then
hope so.
collaborations will come with that. As a solo artist, you can always collaborate like males and females, right? So like
Yeah, yeah, of
of
course,
all
of
kinds
course.
of different genres, I'm sure. Are you looking forward to any of those? Any collaborations
Yeah,
in the
I would.
works?
Oh my God, just being back in America and just having so many opportunities is just crazy because, okay, I have to just kind of segue into my new single because this was such a crazy story and this is my first time like kind of telling it to anyone, like,
You heard it
publicly in
first.
an interview.
Oh wow, Men of the Hour. You heard it first. You hear that?
Yes, and the man of the hour. You hear it first here. It's crazy because I've always dreamt of collaborating with Ariana Grande or The Weeknd, right? Like that's been a
Mm,
dream of mine. And then this opportunity strikes where I get to work with a producer who just worked with Ariana Grande and The Weeknd on her latest album called Off the Table.
yeah.
So that's the producer I work with on my new single called Got It. His name's Shintaro, and he works with Tommy Brown, who is Ariana Grande's executive producer. So that's the team I'm working with right now,
Oh,
and it's
good.
crazy. The sound is just phenomenal. I can't wait for my fans and even like new audiences in the US, because this is my US debut. I can't wait for
That's
the whole
so
world to hear
exciting.
this. Yeah,
Wow, and you're
crazy,
here with your
right?
home roots. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine. I told you I can't sing for shit, so I don't know what that experience is like, but you're about to experience that. That's
Yeah.
fun. That's gonna be so fun. The
It's so
doors that
much
will open
fun.
after this. I love how you call
Yeah.
it got it. What why did you call it got it?
It's called Got It because, this whole story is about me in a
Mm,
toxic relationship and knowing that I should avoid it, but my heart is just gravitating back towards her because
mm,
she knows she's got it and I know she's got it. There's that something, that X factor that she's got that keeps
mm.
bringing me back. And there's this lyric in the song that I love. It's called it says, even though it hurts, it feels so good.
Oh yeah.
You know that feeling, like a guilty pleasure.
Oh, we all have them.
We all
Mine's
have
dark
those.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Just
We
wait.
all,
Yeah, I was gonna say just wait till we go to dinner. It's literally I will only eat dark
yeah.
chocolate.
Or even like spicy food. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
good the next morning, but you just can't help it. Just like, whoo. You know?
That's what guilty pleasure. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's going to drop very soon. We're going to find out. We're all going to listen to it. It'll be super fun.
Very
Uh,
soon.
Anywhere you can find music, folks. You know what I keep thinking about? So when you leave a boy band and
Hmm.
leave a toxic relationship, like you'd said, I can't help but think about those confident steps you had to take. And that's what I wanted
Oh.
to bring up with you today. It is Men's Health Month. We're in the month of
Hmm.
June 2021, and I want to talk about confidence because I feel like you have to be a confident man at your age to have made the types of career moves you did, to dress the way that you do, to sing the way that you do. And as admirable as it is also very challenging. How did you get to
Yeah.
this confident place in your life, Kevin Wu?
You know what? As a kid growing up, I wasn't the most confident guy. Being Asian American in a very small town, just one of few Asians in my city actually. I wasn't the jock. I wasn't the
Mm,
popular kid at school, so didn't have a high self-esteem growing up in like middle and high school. But going through K-pop and challenging myself to leave my comfort zone and go to a foreign country at such a young age kind of helped me boost my confidence.
sure.
And also, I would say just like it's always existed in my heart. It's just as I got to know myself better growing up and just like being more mature, I felt like I became more comfortable in my own skin.
Mm,
And I think for me, I follow my heart. And at the end of the day, that's all there is to it, whether
mm,
it's new challenges or going into the unknown. It's just if your heart is bringing you there,
mm.
nothing can stop you. And if
Yeah.
there is, I highly recommend anyone out there who has this, you know, just dream or something that they've always longed to do, but had distraction or voices in their head that told them no. I strongly urge them to just follow their heart, because that will make you happy in the in the long run. And
Mm,
for me, it is a ongoing journey. Of course, there's parts of me that I still want to navigate and just explore. But I think step by step and day by day, it's just reminding yourself to do that.
you should write a single that's called Step by Step. I'll help you write it
Step
because I can't sing,
step
remember, but maybe
by
I could.
step.
Yeah. Look at it. He's already singing it.
Yeah. Oh my
That's,
God. That's New Kids on the Block, and our group is called U Kiss, and we were
yep.
kind of named after New Kids on the Block, which is really funny.
Isn't that crazy? The boy band world is so small. I could only imagine. Have you met other boy
Right.
bands?
Yes, surprisingly, I've met a few online and in person. So, NSYNC was a huge inspiration in my life growing up, and I actually got to meet Lance Bass in person
We love
in
Lance.
Hollywood at his home, which is so crazy. And also, I got to interview with Joey Fatone on his
Mhm.
podcast.
And now you're on this podcast. So thanks, Joey. But now you're with Justin, and we're going to continue the conversation around confidence really quickly. So fashion bleeds into confidence. So like if you imagine how today's style of men's wear is a little bit of every type of style, don't you think? I mean, you
Mhm.
got a jeans jacket on with a plain t-shirt.
Yeah.
I have a polo on, and then there's so many things I think guys are wearing nowadays. When you're looking to wardrobe yourself or put on certain outfits throughout the days, have you gotten a system in place, or are you kind of just picking outfits based on how you're feeling throughout the day? Kind of walk us through that process.
Honestly, for me, it's how I'm feeling throughout the day. I prefer just comfort over fashion, like high fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love high fashion, of course. It's really fun to like try out different styles, but a daily Kevin look would be very just like casual,
Hmm.
lots of denim, lots of jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the fashion in LA for sure is pretty
Pretty casual and
cash.
lax anyway.
Yeah.
I bring that up because I wonder sometimes people like you who are in Hollywood singing and dancing and stuff, like
Yeah.
when we see you guys dressed. So I've been to red carpets and stuff. When you're
Mhm.
dressed, you're dressed.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's usually people in the entertainment industry usually wearing quite casual clothes, I would assume, because it's like, it's the
Yeah.
work that speaks for itself, which essentially is music. Shouldn't matter what you're wearing. So I want to ask you now, when you're approached by people, sometimes I feel like there's often the misconception that you have to always be dressed up or you always have to smell good. Your
Mhm.
hair has to be looking good all the time. How do you react
Oh,
to
yeah.
that?
Oh, man, even when I was living in Korea and Japan, like, I'd always, you know, be, like, asked to I would always be asked to, like, take pictures, in restaurants, on the streets, but, for me, when I'm out, like, there are times when I like to dress up. There's times
Yeah.
when I'm, like, in sweatpants, like, right after a recording session or a dance session,
Mm,
but I don't really mind. I think it's the attitude I give off and,
yeah.
just the energy. If it's there, I think they'll appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like I like to present myself like on stage and like really get to show the fashion and the high fashion through videos and through content.
Mm.
Not like I don't
Kind of
really
leaving
mind.
it for the video, not for the streets, essentially, right?
Yeah, if I were to be in sweatpants and a fan asked me to take a picture, I would still take a picture.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, no, I'm not ready. Sorry, I'm not that
Because
type of
so
guy.
many times I just even normal guys like me who aren't on stage dancing, flying from strings, doing backflips and stuff while singing, which God, that sounds so exhausting. I can't even imagine. And we still want to look good to feel good, right? That slogan that goes around, everybody's like, oh, look good, feel good. What does that mean to
Yeah.
you?
For me, I think what I'm wearing is just how it just kind of defines my confidence, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, there are days when I want to just be really comfortable, but then when I'm out meeting people and, going to shoots and going, in Korea, it's funny because they call it the airport fashion. So that became a thing.
Oh, huh.
So when artists go abroad and they go to the airport, there's paparazzis and there's press that wait hours for them to catch like a glimpse of them going into the plane. So
Nice.
they actually have a fashion for the airport. But
Wow.
yeah, we're always ready.
I was gonna say, what is the fashion for the airport? Sweatpants and a t-shirt usually?
It used to be like that, and then now it's more like being like mysterious, like black mask, black turtleneck, like the long trench coats that you see in like K dramas.
Funny. Funny,
Yeah, you gotta
funny.
like super chic and like sleek at
Airport
airports.
style.
And then we go to the bathroom and we do a quick change into sweatpants and then we knock out in the plane.
Could you imagine? There's I just can't help but always talk about fashion throughout the entertainment world because I feel like everybody sees it differently. Do you have a stylist? Is that a thing?
Yeah, of course. When I do shoots and music videos and performances, I do have a stylist. But for just, interviews like this, or when I'm just doing casual shoots, I usually style myself. Or,
Mm.
I have a sister who's also a manager, and she's also kind of like my personal stylist as
Oh,
well. So yeah, I get
oh, you got
advice.
a whole band behind the band.
Yeah.
Right behind the solo band. Kevin, back to confidence really quickly.
Yeah.
People struggle with that all the time. And I think to hear from someone like you, I mean, I'm sure your fans are tuning in now. What do you tell people who are struggling with confidence? And, for instance, if I can't look you in the eyes, like we're on
Mhm.
Zoom and I can still look you in the eyes because I'm confident and you're confident, we're talking. Some people still struggle with that today. Whether or not they're
Mhm.
introverted or extroverted, I don't think adds to the equation. I think it's more just about getting to a comfortable place with who they are.
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
I mean, I could totally relate to that because, like I mentioned before, growing up, I wasn't the most confident kid, and I really had to embrace my flaws. And I wouldn't even say they're flaws anymore, you know?
Yeah.
That's what makes us unique. And just, I would say, comparing less to others will definitely help you with your confidence. I feel like, especially in K-pop too, just being constantly compared with members and with other groups, it was kind of toxic, but then I realized we all bring something different to the table, and that's the beauty of a group. Because everyone has a different character, that
Yeah.
kind of has that synergy to make that group really dynamic and unique.
Mm,
And that's what I learned throughout my K-pop years, just being yourself, and whatever other people don't have, you may have. And it's just finding that within yourself and really showing it and just owning it. Yeah, you
mm.
just got to own it because you got it. Everyone's got it, that X factor.
You know what? Get it, got it, good. You're right. You got
Yeah,
it.
I like
You
that.
got it. And your single is called Got It, right? Get it,
Yes,
got it, good.
you got it.
Kevin Wu, thank you for joining us on the Men of the Hour, especially
Thank
during Men's Health Month. I think it's really important to have conversation around confidence and, just and the idea of fashion too, again, is just one of those bigger picture ideas that people don't necessarily talk about. You just wear whatever you want to wear, but to find out that like, you could
exactly.
have so many different styles for so many different reasons, even like going to an airport, apparently.
Yeah,
I want paparazzi. Hey, I want you to make a bet on this. I want paparazzi there when I arrive to LA next week in a black trench coat and a black mask.
black mask. Yeah,
That's
you
not
gotta
fucking
have that black
happening.
mask.
If I can sing like you, it would happen, right? So everybody, I can't sing, so don't go look for me on Spotify. Go look for Kevin on Spotify. I'm so excited for this single for you, and I cannot thank you enough for saying yes to coming on the podcast.
Yes, Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms. Check out my YouTube channel, Instagram. I'm even on TikTok now. So, like, yeah,
Oh
just
God,
all
he's
the
on
social
TikTok too.
platforms.
See, listen, guys, you can find him anywhere. Kevin Wu, Kevin. If you can't spell Wu, actually, you probably would spell it a couple different ways.
Yeah,
WOO.
WOO. Woo woo.
Thanks
Woo
again,
woo.
Kevin.
Thank you so much.